Hey all y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm actually going to be doing a video the one that inspired me to do this was I saw Porcelain doing one, though I am pretty sure that there have been other creators who have done this same video. But obviously we are going to be talking about makeup that no one asked for. I mean, obviously we don't actually ask the companies for anything. We're not sending in letters, or maybe some people are sending in letters. But there are some products that we're just like, why did you bring this into existence? It does not bring joy. So I've got a cute little list right here. Some of the products are newer, more recent phenomenon, and we're kind of reaching back into the archives of the beauty releases. And as always, with these kind of videos, if one of these products or all of these products are products that you absolutely love, that is perfect. You keep doing you. These are just my personal opinions and how I feel about them. So without further ado, let's just let it go. Okay, the first product is actually going to be one that Porcelain had in her video. I will have her video linked down below. And she talked about the Urban Decay Light Beam palette. This was, I think, sometime last year, maybe the year before. I'm not exactly sure. But this was like a little 5-pan travesty that was exclusive to, I believe, Nordstrom or something along those lines. With the name like Light Beam, and from a brand like Urban Decay, you would expect something that's a bit more, I feel, shock and awe. Whereas this palette was much more ho and hum. And another problem that I have with this particular palette is you look at it and you're like, all right, well, Caucasian white people didn't ask for this because it ain't gonna be working on them because these colors are like faint little of color and glistening whatever. So if we didn't ask for it, I can tell you right now that the people of the deeper melanin did not ask for this because this ain't even going to show up. So Urban Decay, you are able to profit off of a person of color's artistic notoriety, but you can't make an inclusive palette. What's the tea, Urban Decay? What's the tea? Next one is from a brand that normally I usually love. I honestly, from the beginning of my channel, if you told me that I would be including them in this list, I would have laughed in your face. But that is basically anything that has been recently released by Kat Von D. Now I'm talking that stupid little like eyeliner X that was like, oh, help us like figure out whether this is a good product, so pay us money for you to basically be a guinea pig. And then they had that little like gold gel something or the other that I bought. Her cream stick shadows. The liquid highlighters that I haven't heard anyone talk about. Those like crayon eyeliners. I mean, she came out with a white eyeliner. I mean, there is no point in having that because we all know anyone in the community, I feel like, who is going to be using a like white stick eye shadow whatever is going to be using the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk. I mean, that thing is old as time and it has stood the test of time, and it's like $5-6, so why are we going to spend like $18 on Kat Von D? I mean, her vegan love palette, and basically I feel like every release that she's come out with recently has just been this big giant question mark of who cares? She used to be so innovative, so cutting edge, like everything she released was like the next big thing. In all honesty, I really think that Jeffree Star has like taken the place of Kat Von D because he has been the one who has much more consistent quality. He's kind of that like edgy editorial whatever vibe going on, and he's releasing the more avant-garde, the crazier products, and really doing the pushing the envelope like she used to do. Then something else that nobody asked for this. This wasn't even a blink or a thought in someone's mind. But Too Faced decided, hey, all y'all didn't respond very well to our Natural Love palette. So we decided to take almost the exact same shades, dump them in packaging with a peacock, and sell you this Natural Lust. I mean, I feel like if there was really a panel of consumers like you and me, and we sat down and we're like, all right, let's brainstorm what we would like to see from these companies. I can tell you right now, not a one of us would have come up with this. You got the eyeshadow palette, and then you got like the bronzer whatever thing, and basically the marketing behind it is the fact that they are riding the train of a theme, because Too Faced, well, when they create a new theme, they just keep steamrolling that theme, aka peaches and fruity and whatever. So they can't come up with a new theme, they're just riding the one theme and just keep on going. I mean, is there any thought to like maybe creating something that's standalone, that's not like heavily consumer bougie 1% represented, or something that's completely out of taste? Too Faced, they're just like bip bopping around, and basically, honestly, almost everything that they've been releasing, kind of like Kat Von D, they just keep releasing these collections, you know, like the Pretty Rich one. Okay, we didn't ask for that. And there was the Pretty Mess collection. No one asked for that. But they just keep releasing these things thinking that this is exactly what we want. Their PR manager needs some help. Kind of, again, falling under that, like, you know, can't let something die. I mean, even Urban Decay, yes, they need to move on from the Naked, but they haven't released a Vice palette in like 3 or 4 years. They let that die. But this is Tarte, and this is Tarte continuously resurrecting their Rainforest of the Sea collections, which are basically the exact same thing, repackaged with a new theme that is in conjunction with the overarching theme. I remember back in my day, it wasn't just like Rainforest of the Sea. They had like Rainforest After Dark. They took the theme and they kind of went with like different rainforest whatever, and then they landed on Rainforest of the Sea, and they're like, this is it. This is how we're gonna make our money right here. And again, like Too Faced and like Urban Decay, it's like, y'all just keep releasing the same sort of thing over and over again, and it's all from like the same collection. The excitement is gone. It's just like, well, we've seen this before, we own it, but it's new, so I guess we'll have to try it. I really need these companies to be stepping out of the box, because they just keep repeating and reshilling. They've got like a safety net of eyeshadows back in the back that they're like, we need to release something new. Go send Bob out to get those shadows. We'll put them in a different array with really fancy packaging and shill it. And speaking of eyeshadows kept in the back, how about Morphe and Jaclyn Hill Vault collection? It had the hot mess that was the eyeshadow palette, the original one. Not a hot mess in the sense of the quality of the palette. I have that palette. It's not horrible. It's not like end all be all, but it's not bad, and it's something that I can work with. Enter these Vault collections, which is basically the way it was promoted was, oh, when we were coming up with the palette, we came up with all these shades. They're basically selling you the reject shades. The shades that weren't good enough or couldn't fit into the palette, they're going to take and they're going to make into little versions of palettes, slap Jaclyn's name on it because you knew The real reason they sold it to you is because anything with Jaclyn Hill's name on it sells like hotcakes. And I mean, this is like kind of the whole thing. It's just like, I know it's not like we're up there personally asking for these things, but I feel like these companies come out with these products that are just like, wow, they're like, all right, you can't come up with a product that's not a Jaclyn Hill collaboration. You can't come up with an original theme, so we're just gonna proc off an eyeshadow palette that we already have. We're not actually creating something that's new and unique. We just know that in order to bring in the money, we've got to bring Jaclyn in, and we've got to proc off something that was already really popular. And then if you want to talk about procking off something that's popular, let's bring Urban Decay back into the ring. I did do a review on this palette. This is the Urban Decay Naked Reloaded. They discontinued their original Naked. When that happened, people were like, oh, is this an end of an era? Are we like, is Urban Decay finally stepping away from the whole naked thing, and they're gonna be coming out with something new and stand out and innovative? Now, they brought us another naked palette that is essentially even more boring than the original. I would honestly actually say the Naked Reloaded is the most boring naked palette, and that's coming from someone who doesn't have a lot of love for the Naked 2, which is their taupe themed one. And I understand the market is oversaturated, and I understand we can only do certain things so many times until we've seen absolutely everything. But I feel like even then, it's like, you got the money for the research to discuss the color theory and the whatever, and also, where is the, listening to the feedback? What have we talked about? The bright colors. They're like, all right, give us another electric palette. Give us something bright and fun and innovative, but please, dear Lord, don't give us another naked palette. And all Urban Decay heard was naked palette. They're just like, oh, you do want one? Okay, here you go. That's not what we asked for. And last but not least, a sort of overarching theme here is all of these pointless collaborations. Now this includes a myriad of offenders. We've got the Too Faced Pretty Mess. We've got the Sephora Marvel. Every single other release that ColourPop does is a collaboration release. And part of the reason I have problems with this, and I personally object to it, which is my own personal whatever, is that constantly doing collaborations, while I think that collaborations are well deserved and it is a wonderful way for talented YouTubers and other people to kind of get their face out there and get, well-deserved notoriety. But it also just perpetually and constantly feeds into that whole limited edition brainwash consumerism mentality, where rather than banking on the quality or the uniqueness or the ingenuity of the product itself, we are simply relying on the sellability of a certain popularized thing, such as Disney or Marvel, or how popular this certain YouTuber, influencer, random person's name is. We're not selling the makeup, we're selling the aesthetic. And while aesthetic is very important to me, I have also learned that it's important to pick and choose what you want to have, because not everything is created equal. And when you peel back and past the fancy pretty packaging and the nostalgia and the connection you have with the person who's collabing, and you look at it with a really critical eye, 9 times out of 10, it's not that unique, it's not that amazing. You probably already have it 10 times, but this is my personal thing. I know a lot of people buy things because they want to support. Like I said, you guys do you. This is just me whining and complaining about things that I see and think about. And that'll be enough whining and complaining for this particular video. I just saw Porcelain's video and was inspired to sort of do my own take on it. Definitely let me know a product that was released that you were like, I didn't ask for that. I like to hear y'all's opinions down below. Let me know what you think about the products that I talked about. I love having that open discussion. But thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and as always, keep it real.